What's up, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. I'm back. My name is Oscar. This is where I talk about reality, awareness, my journey, my experience, and finding my true nature beyond the conventional. And hopefully I can assist you in finding your true nature, your true potential, so you can become your best version in this lifetime. So, today's video I want to talk about ascension, okay? Spiritual ascension, conscious evolution, right? And ascending into higher planes of consciousness, but not just yourselves, but as a collective. What everyone on this planet, a lot of people are going through in this moment, the ascension process, spiritual awakening, and actually shifting into a new reality of themselves along with the earth, okay? And I also want to talk about a little bit of symptoms that I've experienced through my journey already that has to do with these energetic upgrades that we're having that we might not be noticing because we might not be conscious of all the things that are happening within our body, right? Within our mind, energetically, because we can't see it. And we're not operating from that higher level yet, but it's still happening nonetheless. Excuse me. So first, I want to start off by, discussing what ascension is, right? Basically what it is and what does it mean to go through an ascension process, right? So I want to start off by saying, just with the first word, ascension, ascending. You are ascending from the current position of where you are now, where the world is at, in this reality, into a higher plane, a higher dimension of existence, a higher density of living, right? Of operating from. So there's many different terms that you can use, but the main thing that I want to convey is that you are shifting into your higher potentials, because you have many potentialities of yourself, right? There's many higher individuations of your soul, right? So before you came here on this earth, you chose this path, you chose this life, and you were operating from a higher soul, a higher self. And you mapped out what you wanted to experience in this life, and you knew that this was going to happen, that the mass population of the human species was going to evolve into their true selves, and you're like, hell yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. Let me go down there. And boom, now you're here with this physical body, and even though you've experienced the world very materially and tangibly, right, the third dimensional view of this reality, you are now shifting. The world is now shifting into higher states. You now have the ability, the fluidity and flexibility to navigate into higher dimensions of consciousness, of awareness. And you do this not only by everyone else receiving these energies, right? But you yourself are able to make that choice each and every day, each and every moment, if you want to easily integrate this process. Because it's already happening energetically. New waves of energies are coming in that are affecting our cellular structure. Yes, our DNA is shifting to hold more of that light, more of that potential. More of that potential within your cells is awakening. And what does that mean? That potential that awakens, that infinite potential, right, creates more magic here on this earth. So, another thing I want to mention before I forget is that the earth itself as well is evolving with us. So not only are you shifting into fourth dimensional, fifth dimensional beingness, right, and functioning and operating through our reality structure, but the earth is in its own evolutionary process as well. So therefore, you are shifting with it, because guess what? We are inhabitants of this earth. So I hope you're still catching up with me there, okay? So we're along with this earth. We're interconnected at our core levels energetically with the earth, okay? There is a bigger spiritual purpose on why we're here on this planet. And if you've been watching my videos, you may already get the gist of it. And it's to evolve into your highest potential, getting to know yourself, knowing who the creator is, and answering all those big questions that have been hidden from us our entire lives. Guess what? Now is the time to find out. So now it's happening worldwide. Everyone's having their spiritual awakenings. Everyone's shifting their cellular structure. They're shifting from carbon-based bodies into crystalline structured bodies. And what does that mean? Carbon is a representation of the fact that very tangible in its form, very grounded here in the physical realm, very dense, right? Like meat, for example. To give you an example, very dense and not that flexible, not able to easily access those interdimensional, transdimensional qualities that we possess that are innate to us, okay? And remember before I say in different videos that We are infinite spiritual beings temporarily living in this physical plane. So therefore, we don't have access to all that, obviously, right? Or else I'd be walking in the water right there and making the video while walking in the water. You get me? So we don't have complete access to that yet, because not only has a collective consciousness not reached that evolutionary stage, the world is still in that transition process. And everyone's going and transitioning at their own pace. So for some people, it's going to be very hard and difficult, the process of ascending and your molecular structures shifting. They're also not going to be aware of it. So imagine you're feeling uncomfortable and you don't know why you're feeling uncomfortable, why it's happening. But if you're watching this video, you are a vibrational match. You are in alignment with this video, the message that I'm sending out. And so thank you for watching. Just wanted to say that. And you are ready to make that decision, to become aware that this process is happening around you, within you, everywhere. So you can either go with the flow, or you can feel the discomfort, right? And it's going to be a very arduous process. But also what I want to say is that this transition is going to be that of clearing the old carbon-based, right, tangible material part of ourselves that we've been carrying. That emotion, that envy, those very dense emotions, dense feelings that we feel here in this mainstream consciousness that we're operating from. All that lust, those types of things, they're being cleared out. All the baggage from the past pains and traumas that you've encountered throughout your life, all that karma, right, from past lifetimes, all that stuff is being cleared. Generational ties within your family of hate, of disease, all that's being cleared, because we are receiving the new energies through the earth, through ourselves, our soul's evolution, and therefore we are shifting, and we are able to climb this ladder of ascension into higher planes of consciousness in alignment with our true selves. So little by little, as you start to clear this, you'll start to feel that you become lighter in your being, meaning now you feel more flexible. You start to feel the energy, right, in the air, energy of things, how you're connected with all other things. Extrasensory abilities might start to activate for you as you go through this process. Okay, your diet, the way you think, is going to change out of nowhere. You're going to start to feel more love flow through you, because you've cleared out all that old baggage from the past, from years and years, like literally hundreds, thousands of years of us living in this paradigm of very physical, material existence. No, it's over now, guys, or it's getting over. We're getting there. And now we're shifting into a more, you could say, conscious, spiritually aware, magical, right, oriented life, where we are aware that we create the reality and we are one with the Creator, one with God, the universe, reality. And therefore, here comes the switch in beliefs. So I want to mention that what happens, right, when more and more of us begin to shift consciously. We're aware of this ascension process of our soul's evolution, of us evolving into our highest potential, knowing who we are. And therefore, everybody starts to know that their cells are now holding more light, that we are capable of much more. We're able to access and operate from our multi-dimensional beingness. We have access to our multi-dimensional skill set, our nature, because it's innate within us. It's already inside of ourselves, guys, but it's being awakened right now at this moment, little by little, as you clear the baggage, as you become your best version, as you act out of love, with wisdom, with alignment, with why you're here on this earth. That's one of the main messages that I want to get across to you. You have this option every single day to really make the diet shift, do the meditation, act out of love, become your best version, do your research, because it's happening within you. And so people that are not aware, that's because they're going at their own pace. Not everyone's soul is ready to ascend into higher levels of consciousness. But if you're watching this video, you're already in alignment with this message, like I said, and you are ready to start this process seriously, getting yourself in check, so you can start to experience your fundamental nature, your true nature of who you are. And you start to get access to all the abilities, astral projecting easily and effortlessly, quantum jumping into different realities, learning who you are, becoming more divine in the essence of how you live life, access to higher dimensions of God, state of the universe, communicating with higher dimensional beings, extraterrestrials, all these things, right? All these concepts now are within your grasp because you are now making that change. You're evolving, guys, into your highest potential. Now, I don't want to make this video too long, so I hope you understood what I mean by ascending, right? You're ascending into higher states, higher levels. So right now we're in the 3D, then you move on to the 4D of unity, of love, right? Becoming aware that we're all one and interconnected, and harmoniously we can live and coexist on this earth. And then 5D, for example, a higher level of operating within your truth, where you begin to tap into the wisdom, your capacity, your capabilities, and creating and influencing reality on a major scale. Literally, like movies. Like the Avengers, Superman, Batman, all come to life. That kind of power that we have within ourselves. And so lastly, my last thing I want to get across after now, I hope you understood the message of what ascension means, right? At least for me and my experience and journey. I want to talk about the symptoms, okay? After a brief sip of water, of course. So, symptoms, okay? Of course, I just told you this process, first of all, it's not going to be immediate. It's also going to have a toll. Because remember, not only are you making this conscious, aware shift, right? And finding out who you are, having these awakenings, you're going through a cellular shift. Your body is actually changing, guys. It's becoming more energetic, more flexible, and in its nature. So you're not going to be feeling so dense anymore. You're going to feel happier. You're going to feel lighter with more energy. You're going to want to eat less because you have this energy, because your cells are containing more of the light, more of the energy. They're able to absorb more from the fabric of reality, literally, prana. With every breath of air that you breathe, you are receiving this energy. And so this is how you guys can see the change that starts to happen. Your diet's going to change. You're not going to want to eat all these dense foods like eggs and meat. You might want to shift to go vegan or vegetarian. And then after that, you start not even to get hungry anymore because you are taking in more and more energy, guys. So again, this is at your own pace. But along this journey, along this path, before I even knew that this was a thing, before I even believed it completely, I was lost, right? And I was unconsciously, right, changing my diet. I was waking up super tired. I was getting depressed, super anxious. Emotions and feelings that I haven't felt in forever within my life that I had avoided started to come and resurface. So these are the symptoms of the ascension process, at least through my experience. And I'm sure that a lot of people are going through the same thing. If you're feeling tired out of nowhere without explanation, you're literally feeling super tired. You don't have any drive, you're lost, and you don't know what your place is in this world. You don't know what you're going to do with your future. This is the beginning of the ascension process, because you're losing yourself, you're losing your previous material identity, right, of who you've been taught to be. And after that, you move on to the next stage, where your body wants to change. You start taking deeper breaths. You start connecting with people. You might start feeling energies more. You might be becoming aware of different types of numbers that you see, different messages that you start to receive. And finally, you start to have those awakenings, those epiphanies. And you're like, oh my goodness, now I see through all this BS, all this bullshit of our world. Why do people have to be so material? And why aren't people acting so authentically or transparently? Now, for some reason, you start to want to become your best version. But of course, that's going to be throughout the whole time of you having coughs, aches, like different pains within your body that you haven't felt in like ages, fever, sickness. And you're going to be searching up, like me, probably on your phone, on the medical websites, symptoms, what disease do I have? Guys, you are shifting from this body that has a shit ton of diseases to a body, a new life, a new vehicle, right? A new cellular structure that has no disease. So just see how great that is, guys. You don't have to worry about having a disease ever again. Why? Because you're ascending to these new levels where it does not exist. So, right now, first you got to clear. You're ascending. So before you ascend, you can't ascend with all your baggage, with all those past pains, trials, and tribulations that you endured, with those heavy emotions, with your cells being covered and intertwined with all the foods you've eaten, and all that energy from the foods you eat connecting with your DNA, right? You can't have all that junk in there. You have to be receptive and open. Not only you wanting to learn, you have to actually open up yourself. Physically, you got to do these types of the work, so you're able to evolve, able to ascend. And like I said, that takes time. You're not going to want to change your diet immediately, because I used to love burgers, and now I don't eat meat at all. I used to never meditate, never become mindful, and now I do that every single day. And you'll start to see how your body starts changing. You're going to start losing weight. You're going to start thinking clearly. Sometimes you're going to start to feel the connection between your reality. Like I said, all these are signs and symptoms of your ascension process. So remember, the whole mass majority of globally, it's happening. And whether you're conscious or unconscious of it, it is still happening nonetheless, even if you can't notice it or not. But if you're watching this video, you are now beginning to notice all these things. You're being drawn to this video, and therefore now you are learning what is actually happening. It's an actual process that's happening globally for our soul's evolution, for us to live on a new earth with new potential, with new paradigms of truth that are reflected back to each other. When you walk now, and a few years after this process starts to become more and more, coming to life, more crystalline, more conscious, more aware, you'll start to see that when you're walking down the street, everyone you see is freaking wise, knows who they are, knows they create the reality, is living a completely abundant life, has no lack mentality. They know they're the creator. They know they can live their life purposefully and lovingly so. Everything starts to change. Everyone's eating healthy. People are barely eating. They're living more. They're experiencing more. They're traveling into other planes of existence. Astral traveling, quantum traveling, whatever you want to call it. But all this is becoming available to us little by little as we decide to integrate, to go with the flow, right? Open ourselves up and go along with this journey, or completely block it off. So it is going to be a little frustrating at times, or a lot. It's going to be confusing because a lot of times you're not going to have all the information in front of you. And it's going to be a little bit painful, a little scary at times, because you're evolving, you're becoming in line with your truth. And let me tell you, the truth is so radically different than before. And so it kind of frightens people when you start to see your true potential, when you've been taught to be so limited as a person and you're actually infinite. So that's a really big contrast, you can tell. So again, I don't want to make this video too long. Hopefully you gained value and you've learned a thing or two from this video. I send you all love and light. I wish you the best on this ascension process and journey of becoming your best selves. Leave a comment, let me know what you're going through. What kind of symptoms and signs are you experiencing in your life, right? Leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video.